Hey everybody, the Johnny Cage here, welcoming you back to some more of Let's Play The Legend of Zelda. Last time we left off, we went through the 6th dungeon, barely escaped with our lives as the Wizrobes caused us quite a great deal of pain and almost death. And this time around, I'm gonna take out another insurance policy and buy myself another red potion just because I'm not sure if I'm gonna need it or not from this point out. The next dungeon we're going to is not all that difficult. There are no Wizrobes there. In fact, there are no more Wizrobes until we get to the last dungeon, so I guess that's something. The next one, pretty easy. You may have noticed that I did a lot of grinding for rupees, and by a lot I mean I got over 200 something, and I did it all right here in the cemetery using that trick that I showed you a couple episodes ago when I got the magical sword. And you're gonna want 100 rupees for this next dungeon so that we can afford the larger bomb bag, and another 60 to be able to buy the bait. And if you want to take out an insurance policy like I did, get yourself another red potion, then you're gonna want another 68 on top of that. Your total coming to 228 in case you don't want to do the math. I like how you can skip over that staircase there if you go towards the top high enough. So we want to be headed in this general direction. Actually, the 7th dungeon is not too far away from where the 6th is. So if we come over here and go up, you will find yourself over at this lake. Now you're going to want to buy the bait from the same place that we got the blue ring from, because that's one of the... actually there are a few places on the overworld where you can buy it for 60 rupees, but this one just happens to be the closest by, so we'll come back to this fun little place. Also, you can buy keys here, and of course some people might say, well, why would I ever want to buy a key? And that's because in the next dungeon, you need to use a decent amount of bombs and 4 keys. 4 keys exactly, to get through it without going through any unnecessary doors, so make sure you have a surplus of keys. As you can see, I only have 3, but there are quite a few inside the dungeon that you can pick up if you need them, so I'll grab one of those. Up here, I should mention, since it's on the way, this is one of the 2 places in the overworld where there's a ferry where you can heal yourself back up to full again. So we'll go grab that quick heal and be on our way to the 7th dungeon, which is right up here. And there are tips that will tell you like that this is here, but if you didn't find them, then it's going to be tricky to find this place. But you use the recorder, and you play the recorder, and this lake will disappear, and there's a staircase there leading you down to the 7th dungeon known as the Demon. So right from the get-go, if you go to the right, it will eventually take you to an area where you can get a key if you need one, but we're going to go straight up. Like I said, enemies in here not too hard, no dark nuts and no Wizrobes, so you should be alright. I'll bring out the wand to try to do some damage. You can see the wand doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but you know, I like long-range stuff. It's just enjoyable. Grab some bombs. A lot of bombable walls here. Tons of bombable walls. And this dungeon is pretty big. I think this might be the 2nd largest, with the exception of the very final dungeon. But lots of places you can go. Primarily, you just want to stay to the left-hand side, and then just before you get up to like the very top left corner, you want to head towards the right. So the row of rooms that's horizontal, 2nd from the top, and just keep going to the right, and you'll get there. We'll see. You'll see eventually. A lot of these rooms, not super difficult. As I mentioned, the enemies are on the easy side. Get some ropes. I come down here and grab this key. This is off the beaten path, just like most of the keys in here are if you really need one, but now I've got the 4 keys that I'm going to need to complete the dungeon. I don't even have to worry about these dodongos, and since we can buy right here, we can buy the upgraded bomb bag, so now we get full bombs as it is, so, you know, don't really need to fight the dodongos at all. Make our way back, and then up through this door over here, and we come across... well, just more of these blue guys whose names I have appropriately forgotten already. Once again, not a whole lot to this dungeon, to be honest. I was thinking that by this point in the game the dungeons were going to be really hard for me to get through, but, you know, a quick look through, you know, you're going to start to see more and more bosses from previous dungeons in these places, but doors are already open up for you, so it's not a very big deal. Or the ones that aren't open up for you can be opened up with keys like this one. So there's key number 2 we've used, and then you come across this guy who's Grumble Grumble, and this is the one that you need to use the bait on. You don't run into too many of these guys in the first quest. The second quest you'll run into a lot more, and what's worse is in the second quest, sometimes you'll stumble into rooms where there will be the old man, and he'll ask you to give him a certain amount of rupees or a heart container before you can move on, which is really ridiculous. Makes that second quest much more difficult. So there's the map. It actually resembles something. I don't really see a demon. I think it looks more like a Velociraptor, personally, but, you know, maybe that's just me. So this looks like it's one of the rooms where you have to kill everyone, and, you know, I'm just trying to see what I can get rather than these guys, but nothing worthwhile. Just bomb out this door to the right, or this wall to the right, rather. And this will take you to a room that doesn't look like you're supposed to be able to get to on the map, but this is where you want to be to get the treasure for this dungeon. Oh, nice, full power. Oh, damn, then I get hit, of course. I have to deal with those guys in the middle. Got some bombs, at least, that's always a plus. These guys drop bombs pretty regularly, so if you were to fight the Dodongos, and let's say, for some reason, you didn't get one, if not either, of the bomb bags, a lot of bombs get dropped here, so it's not a huge deal. And the treasure for this dungeon is going to be the red candle, which is, you know, practically an offensive weapon, because you can use it multiple times in a room, unlike the blue candle, which you could only use once. This one you can kind of just shoot fireballs from your hand, more or less. And now you're going to want to continue to the right, bomb out the wall there, and this will take you to more of the blue guys. Lots of boomerangs. Tons of boomerangs. Man, it's just one of those boomerang parties. Lots of hearts being dropped, too. That's not bad. Actually getting really lucky on the health pickups here in this dungeon. And then over here, another one of these guys. This one we actually do have to fight. Bring out the recorder real quick. And as you can see, they kind of got the jump on me. As you use the recorder and they break into smaller pieces, they move faster. It's kind of recommended that you stay right next to them when you use the recorder. That way you can just start spamming the sword, and hopefully you can kill all the pieces of it while it's still together, instead of separating into 3 little ones and flying all over the screen. And then here's another room of Dodongos, but just like with the previous room of Dodongos, we don't have to deal with these guys at all. Blow up that wall over, and this will take us to our second staircase. I want to be careful in this room, though, because we have a deadly mix of hand-grabbing wall masters and the bubbles that will surely take you to the beginning of the dungeon if you're not careful. So just want to kind of get these guys to come out of hiding. Make sure you're not there when they grab you, though, because it's happened to me before. There's few things more annoying in this game than being brought back to the beginning of the dungeon. Well, that and these guys that prevent you from using your sword for a while, both equally annoying. And then you want to push this block over once you've destroyed all the hands, and you can come up into the stairwell. And this will pretty much take us on a straight path to where the boss of this dungeon is. Dun dun dun. More of these guys. So many boomerangs. This is just boomerang dungeon. Dungeon should have been in the picture of a big boomerang. And our boss is... oh look! It's Aquamantis again! 2 shots with the magical sword. Wow, I don't know. I guess they just repeat bosses because they ran out of memory. I wouldn't have been surprised if they ran out of memory. I mean, considering how large the overworld is in this game and how early of a game it is for the Nintendo, it kind of makes sense they ran out of memory. I mean, they ran out of memory for a lot of great games. You know, Mortal Kombat they did. That's why Sub-Zero and Scorpion look the same. But anyhow, guys, that's going to do it for this time. Took care of Dungeon number 7 with no problem at all, pretty much. Next time, we're going to go right to Dungeon 8, and oh man, things are going to pick up there. That will not be nearly as easy as this one was. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. This has been the Johnny Cage. Please subscribe, like, and comment if you have not, and I will talk to all of you guys tomorrow.